Who the fuck is that guy?
I make my own moves, yeah, I'm bossing.
All weak bitches, please proceed to the exit.
Is there no one else? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We are not for the weak.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Not for the Week podcast. It's your boy James.
And Jeremy.
And we're back. We got a big guest today. Huge guest.
Huge guest.
In more ways than one. He's like fucking jacked.
Super
jacked. But Artemus Dolgin.
Is it Dolgin? So on my story when I was talking about the guest,
I think it's Dolgin.
I said Dolgin. So hopefully I didn't say his last name wrong.
Anyway, we got Artemus Dolgin. I'm going to say Dolgin.
Dolgin.
Like Dolph Lundgren.
How is that?
Anyway, we got Artemus Dolgin from Golden Aesthetics. He's an IFBB pro.
And Golden Organics.
And Golden Organics. He's got a couple of companies. IFBB pro, turned pro as a physique competitor long time ago. And now he kind of is big in the classic scene. He does a lot of classic bodybuilding and seminars and stuff like that. He's huge in that scene. And yeah, so we had him on. It was pretty cool to talk to him. I wanted to get him on here for a while, strictly because I follow him on Instagram and like I follow his stories a lot. And I don't know, he's an interesting dude, man. He's got a crazy fashion sense. Mm-hmm. He's boxing. He's a jacked boxer. He posts about his meals, and I don't know. It's cool. He's got a cool grind and a cool work ethic, and it's you got to be around people like that, I think.
Mm-hmm. A champion mindset for sure.
Yeah,
when we were talking to him, which was really cool.
Yeah, but we talk about it. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about some social media and how it's a lot easier nowadays to make or how it's different to make money nowadays with social media in terms of being like a professional bodybuilder. And then we talk a little bit about like his boxing and his companies. He goes off on a little tangent in the middle there. He's got some drama going on with him and some of his old athletes. He mentions GUNSMITH in the interview and goes off on a tangent. Kind of, he's heated, he's passionate about it. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good for the most part. I think it was cool. He's got cool insight.
He's a very interesting guy.
He's a super interesting dude. Super interesting, super passionate dude. Really crazy backstory.
Yeah. The whole time he was talking, I was like, the only thing I could think of was like Conor McGregor, dude.
No,
I know he's not Irish, but like you guys will listen when you guys hear him talk, and like it's not even like an accent or anything like that, but it's how he talks about things that he's passionate about, like that passion, that fire. It's like exactly like Conor, like how Conor talks about like fighting, and so that's kind of where I thought of the champion mindset, because they're like pretty similar, like in a lot of ways.
There's a point there where it sounds like a Conor McGregor press conference, honestly.
Oh yeah, super duper, yeah, absolutely.
But he's a super cool. He's a super cool guy, regardless of kind of what your thoughts are on him. I know with the drama going on, some people don't like him, some people do like him, some people really support what he's about, some people probably think he's not a great guy. But regardless of what you actually think of him, the man grinds hard and he's super passionate. Yeah, and you have to respect that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's a cool episode. I think people will like it. Yeah,
I'm actually super excited for people to listen to this.
Yeah,
it's not only is it our biggest guest, but just like he covers so many different topics, and just every single thing he covers, he just goes into depth about. Yeah. And like I said, like the man has just this fiery passion about anything. So
I wish we'd gotten a little bit more into his backstory.
Yeah,
he touches on it a little bit, like growing up in the USSR, basically during Soviet times, and coming to America and trying to live the American dream like Arnold, and selling cars in Chicago. It's a cool story.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish we'd gotten a little bit more into that, but yeah, maybe next time. Yeah. Hope you guys like it. Definitely leave a comment below and let us know what you guys think of this episode, because I think it's got some hot button topics on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, tell a friend. Make sure you guys leave a 5-star review, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, or I'll find you.
Or Jeremy's going to find you.
We've said that before, and I'll say it again.
Well, we're going to start. We're starting now. Anyway, here's the episode with Artemus Dolgin. Let's go.
I was in my way
I'm on my way to do some sprints and like to do some biking and to do some cardio because it's Sunday and I usually go to the beach during Sundays because that kind of help me, recharge a little bit and get away from from the hustle because being a bodybuilder and being a businessman, it's kind of very hard things to combine together. That's why you don't see too many people, that are into bodybuilding that are very successful, and majority that are not successful are hating on the ones that can put things together. You know what I mean?
Well, it's super hard because they're both two very selfish things. So you got to like kind of like isolate yourself a little bit, like bodybuilding it becomes a super self-absorbed thing where like you don't have a lot of time for distractions. You know what I mean? Same with business.
But you know what? That's what separates champions, from not champions, because champions in life, I would say so. Because if you look at Arnold, he was able to do it all.
Yeah. No, it's
while being a great bodybuilder, and he came back. What was it, 79 or 82? He came back, and after he was doing a Conan movie, and still won the Olympia. Even that Olympia was a little rigged,
he was a big name by then. It was.
I do believe you can do both. Especially at this time of day, where you have Instagram, you have social media, you have, all these outlets to promote yourself and build your own platform. Because I liked what Phil Heath said. I wasn't watching his interview, but somebody told me about it, and he was saying that before he used to get paid, from Flex magazine and Muscle and Fitness and stuff, and they would put you on the cover and give you 4-page spreads and stuff, and that's how people would know about you and you will become a celebrity. Nowadays these magazines are small, like nobody's reading magazines anymore.
No,
everything switched to Instagram, where you're going to become responsible for promoting yourself and putting yourself out there, and that's something that I guess I was able to take advantage of very well, and pretty much, when I got into the sport, when I got into bodybuilding and competing in men's physique, I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. So I looked at, Sadiq, and I looked at Matt Christianer. There were a couple other guys, in that time. It was like, 4 years ago.
Right, yeah.
So I kind of like, I looked at that and I was like, okay, man, this is, they had the followers and stuff. And I kind of realized that I have to capitalize more on that because I wasn't making money with shows and competing, and I didn't really have any sponsors. And if there are any sponsors, I just had to promote some kind of a product, in exchange for a free product, you know what I mean, and maybe a spray tan in a hotel. But I don't know, man. I kind of value myself a little bit more than that. I kind of look at myself from a different perspective, and I'm like, man, I decided to take advantage of social media, and as soon as I start putting work into it, I finally saw, fruits of my labor, because I've been training so much and dieting so much and, looking good for so long and training for so long. But, you look good, but you don't really get paid for it. You know what I mean?
No, I think.
And as soon as I started, putting more emphasis on my social media, and I start seeing the return, with online training, because this is the cornerstone of fitness. People are looking for some kind of, magic that's going to happen with protein powder sponsorships. In all reality, man, the majority of income, even for me, came from training people online, and having online clients.
Yeah, it's all monetized. I think a lot of people get hung up with, like, if I get my pro card, I'm going to start it, like, that's it. Like, I can start making money. But I know a ton of pros that have terrible social media, and they're doing like in-person training. That's how they make their money. It's like you could be making way more with that IFBB title if you actually utilize your social media to the point where you can, grow it like how you do. I know too many pros with like 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, 100%. It's just another, it's another job to do. And bodybuilders, you have guys that, like Devin Physique and other kids, they have absolutely nothing crazy about their body. There is not really something that I would want to emulate, what I mean? And you have all these pros that put, years into dieting and years into, drug protocols and training, and they have all this, true knowledge, to the game. And they don't really get the clientele, that Devin Physique gets, even though that kid doesn't know anything about nutrition. I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like,
Right.
Basic stuff. They understand if you drop carbs and this and that, but they don't really know how to manipulate nutrition and truly, change someone's lifestyle in a healthy habits. You know what I'm saying? I think that comes down to self-promotion. These people were able to promote themselves even with, less genetics and less, physical potential, but they were able to market themselves and they make all the money. And I think, I guess bodybuilding world is evolving with Instagram. I think it was a great thing that it's happened to all of us because it saved bodybuilding.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It saved bodybuilding and it saved powerlifting because I feel like powerlifting was even more behind than bodybuilding.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like nobody wanted to be a big fat dude that was lifting like 600 pounds, right? You want to have the abs.
But now everybody's moving heavyweight.
And they look good. A lot of them are looking good because you want to look good. You want to be strong too. Like so,
Larry Wheels, dude.
Yeah, like Larry Wheels.
Like
Larry Wheels is fucking shredded.
And what about you, man? What is your brand about? What are you about?
The whole brand behind it is building yourself into the ultimate weapon. It's Gunsmith Clothing. So it's build yourself into the ultimate weapon, whatever that is. If you want to be the best bodybuilder, be the best fucking bodybuilder. But it's building yourself up to the point where you can deal with whatever life throws your way, And so we have a lot of people. We have a lot of bodybuilders that rock our stuff. We have a lot of powerlifters, CrossFitters. Like it doesn't matter. We don't kind of like niche ourselves into one particular category because you can be, like it's a message that a lot of people can get behind.
But for you, do you really like chasing the aesthetic look, or are you really concerned about, building your body just to be able to admire it and that other people admire, or you just lift weights because, that's your priority over the look, you know what I mean? Because you have the people that lift weights for the look, and I
Right.
think for the most part, I started because of that. I did want to get stronger and this and that, but my dad got me into the sport. But for me, my concern was always the look.
Right.
Always was the look. Since I was a kid, I used to pose. I would see my shadow and I would do a crucifix pose or a victory pose. And I mastered it, bro.
That's
I
German
mastered it since I was a kid. And people are like, oh, you don't know any other poses. I really don't. You know what I'm saying?
That's the go-to.
I got this down to the T since I was a kid. And I know what muscles to flex first, how to place my feet, how to twist my toes. You know what I mean? Because actually we're working on this really, really cool, encyclopedia of posing by Pete Hartwig.
Okay.
That's the guy that truly deserves admiration when it comes down to lifting weights for aesthetics.
No, he looks amazing.
He's there is so much controversy about Pete Hartwig, about being him natural. But it's ridiculous, people that truly know bodybuilding know that he's natural.
Right. Well, I think a lot of that has to do with like Instagram. Like you see some guy and he's fucking shredded, but you don't like he may look fucking massive, but he might in person, he may not look as crazy, right?
When people have really low body fat and they're genetically built right,
you look amazing. You look big. You look huge.
And people usually blame, oh, you're on steroid. Bro, I was 167 pounds when I turned pro. I was a small kid. Right. 167 pounds is really small.
Oh, yeah.
How tall are you? But I had the proportions, in small waist, and I know how to twist and how to position my hips, so that it appears even smaller. So I kind of, gave that illusion, of being big. And I think, bodybuilding has to do a lot with that. You know what I mean? Like Muhammad Makawi, and you look in the back back of the sport, like golden era, people, they were not that huge, but when we look at them in the pictures, they're fucking humongous,
Well, even Arnold was only what, like 235, 240 maybe on stage?
Dude, but I gotta get a minute to give respect to Arnold, man. We are here talking because of him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I'm sure he was like, I grew up like watching the action movies, and like I was never super into bodybuilding when I was younger, but I respected like what he looked like and like what he was able to do. And I think everybody's motivated by Arnold. Like I don't think you can.
Yeah, well, what got you into the sport?
So I got into lifting strictly for performance. Like I was lifting for football and whatnot, and then I was doing some personal training, and somebody's like, hey, you should do a physique show. So I did a couple physique shows, and I liked it, and I appreciate the aesthetics of it. I personally don't have a crazy aesthetic body. Like I don't have great proportions because I never really trained for that. But I really like seeing what the body is capable of. I like getting stronger. I like being able to, jump over a 44-inch box or something. Like I like being able to do things. And I still try to train for aesthetics a little bit, because at the end of the day, you want to look good. Like, you don't want to look like shit. Like, you don't want to have a fucking beer gut and whatnot. And it's nice to see bicep veins and fucking abs, but it's not the sole purpose, but it definitely factors in.
Ask you a question. Why do you think that you don't have an aesthetic body? What makes you think that your proportions are off? Because I thought of myself all my life like the same way.
Right.
Before I got into competing, I remember very clearly I was walking through the dorm back in Ukraine when I went to college. I was probably 19 or 20 years old. I watched Jay Cutler, and like Ronnie Coleman in the pictures, and I thought, man, fuck, I don't have what it takes. I will never compete in bodybuilding, and I never give it a shot. I never really believed in myself to the point where I was like, man, I can go do it. Even I clearly love bodybuilding with all my heart. I trained since I was a kid, like dumbbells. That they were in my life since I was like 5 years old, and I never had that belief that I can do it, because I felt like my body was off because I was comparing myself to someone.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
100%.
But if you look like a Dave Draper, for instance, he didn't really have that crazy proportions. You know what I'm saying? His waist was a little thicker, but he was able to bring up his arms and even everything out. And when he posed, dude, he had it was powerful. So I feel like I think any human being is capable of aesthetics. It just takes a little longer to get there, more strategic work, And when somebody told me, like, man, you should go compete. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, dude, you have amazing body, you have work ethic, you should go compete. And I would be, 4 weeks, 5 weeks out, on the scale of competing most of my life, because I trained, man. I always trained. I always ate clean. It wasn't a commitment for me. It was a lifestyle, it's just who I am. I never felt like I'm committed to eating clean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when somebody told me and put that belief into me, I was like, man, I am capable of doing this. I won that show. Like, I did the nationals and that Team to Universe. And then I knew I had it, you know what I mean? Because I needed someone to tell me.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of it. Like, you're your own worst critic. You're never gonna think you look good. Like, you're always gonna find flaws that maybe the average person is not gonna find. Like, you'll be like, oh, my shoulders suck right here. Like, when I do this pose, I look like I don't even lift. But you're always gonna be your worst critic. But then it takes maybe somebody being like, hey, no, you got this, dude.
What about your boy, bro? You look fucking massive comparing to him.
Dude, fucking Jeremy. Well, he's like 260.
Yeah, how old are you, man?
He's like
I'm
260.
21.
You're 21?
Yeah, 21. I'm like 255 right now.
Dude, you're fucking crazy. Dude, you're thick. Are you planning on competing and taking bodybuilding seriously?
So I'm a power lifter.
You're a power lifter.
Eventually, he's gonna do a show though, because he can hit a mean crucifix.
I can hit a pretty cool crucifix. That's like my favorite pose. So that's funny that you said that. No, yeah, I'm a power lifter, man, and I don't know. I've always loved just being able to move weight. I've always seen myself as like a powerful kid. I was in sports. I was in football. I wrestled. So I wanted to do a meet, and I did my first meet a while back, and I absolutely loved the atmosphere, the energy, the hype that everyone brings. Like, I couldn't get over that. So it's been about 1.5 years since I've done a meet, and I just signed up for a meet in February last week. So I've been prepping for it. So I'm going to compete at 275, but I'll probably only weigh in at like 260. My diet's not really serious right now.
It's sick. I always had respect for powerlifters. I grew up in a small town, and there was 2 gyms. There was like a bodybuilding gym, and there was a powerlifting gym. And powerlifting gym for me, it was like a little basement type of thing, very low ceilings, typical powerlifting like gym, and it's just all like free weights, And it was just like kind of still Soviet times, back there. And I don't know if you studied powerlifting, but there were some strong people coming out of USSR, in terms of powerlifting. And they had their own methods, to do the lifts and stuff. There was a lot of Russian stuff in powerlifting.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
And I look, those guys were on D-ball, you know what I mean? Like, that was just that were the ones that I heard first. First I heard about D-ball and like Tast, and Deca, and I was a kid. And those guys I always had more respect to them than bodybuilders because they always seemed it's a gnarlier sport, man. It's a gnarlier sport. It's gnarly as fuck, and to move that weight, it's you got to be really genetically gifted for that more than for bodybuilding, bro.
Yeah, I would say they're very similar in the mindset that you have to have going into it. You know, like it's an art form. You know, it's just a different style of art form. Like you got to be dedicated to your training, just like how you're dedicated to your bodybuilding. You know what I mean? It's you can't be good in anything without having some dedication to it.
But I'll ask you a question. Do you think powerlifting is more demanding, you know, for, you know, having a genetically stronger structure and, you know, bone structure, joint structure, because you can't just take, you know, a small, scrawny kid, you know, you can make him a bodybuilder, but I don't think you can make him a powerful powerlifter, can you?
That's a good point. You know, like when you look at those dudes like Hafthor, like the Mountain, that dude's got fucking joints that are bigger than my fucking leg, right? Like he's got the joints to be able to support moving that amount of weight.
Pull.
To pull and to hold, you know, 1,000 pounds on his back. Like if I put 1,000 pounds on my back, my knee would fucking snap, right? So definitely genetics plays a huge role. You know,
like this, like your boy right next to you, like you could tell the guy has a thick frame, you know, and he's only 21, so he's gonna get even bigger.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And powerlifters have a different build. I actually like it, man. Like there's this kid on Instagram, I forgot his name, and he used to bodybuild, but then he switched to powerlifting. And he just fucking exploded, dude. He's round. His waist is still small. Yeah. But when you see powerlifters with small waist and this fucking huge barrel chest and arms, that looks so much more powerful than bodybuilding.
It's impressive when, like, Larry Wheels. We were talking about.
Yeah.
Do you follow Larry at all? Fucking.
I saw him. I don't follow him, but I saw him. He's a fucking freak.
He's actually going the opposite way. He did start with the powerlifting. Now he's going into bodybuilding, and I think.
That is a different story then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's because I think it's easier to switch. You know what I mean?
Right.
And powerlifting is just such a beautiful sport to me, you know, if it's done, you know, correctly and stuff, and like watching guys lift weight, you know, it's also very artistic, you know, very artistic sport.
No, it's beautiful in a different way, you know, but I think a lot of it is like it's nice to not kind of force yourself into a niche where, like, I think nowadays, like, being able to be like universal, like kind of like how you're doing the boxing thing, you know what I mean? Like you're branching out to a different sport, and I think that's truly where you get the best growth out of it, like because you're not.
Yeah, you know, it came natural to me, you know, transition to boxing. I always fought, man. Most of my life, I got into fights, you know, because people were bullying me, and I have you know, I was a smaller kid when I was growing up. You know, I was a smaller kid. And people were, you know, like growing up in Russia, you know, in like a very poor household and neighborhood, you know what I mean? Where, you know, in like, I think third world countries, the masculinity, you know, the strength, you know what I mean? The alpha thing that what really determines you as a man, you know what I'm saying? That's how you establish yourself, you know, within that environment. And I was just a small kid, and a lot of kids were trying to pick on me, you know what I mean, to prove themselves, you know what I mean? In our environment, and I don't, you know, I wasn't big, but I have a very like profound, I guess, you know, character. I never let anyone take advantage of me. I mean, I got my ass whooped and this and that.
It happens, dude.
But I always fought. I never backed down from a fight. You know what I mean? And I think coming from the street and throwing hands like that, and then when I went to the boxing gym, it felt natural. I didn't feel forced. You know what I'm saying? And in order to take this to another level and to go into the ring and spar and get your ass beat up, it takes a true love to the sport. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you're going to powerlifting and you don't want to move that weight, but you're just fucking trying to move it. You know what I mean? I think it's the same how you could describe when you go into boxing and you have to go into sparring. It's not just going and hitting the bag. You know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. And it kind of, right now, it sparks more interest for me than the sport of bodybuilding, because I found bodybuilding on a competitive level, you know, not be very healthy for me, you know. Plus, again, I do, maybe it's an excuse, I don't know, the genetics thing, you know, because it's also, what determines, you know, if you're going to become Mr. Olympia or not. That's why there is a certain number of people on that stage, you know, on the top level. Those are the best, I mean, should be the best, you know, genetic specimen on earth, you know. That's what bodybuilding is about, I guess. And I don't feel like I am, you know, in that level, you know what I mean? I can really try to be there, and I can be very competitive, but I just know for a fact, you know what I mean, that I don't have it, you know what I mean? And I'm very clear about it with myself. You know, a lot of people can say this, that, but I know that I can still make a great career of this sport.
Right.
I can still make great money in this sport, and I can still enjoy myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to go out there and try to prove anything to anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I can clearly recognize, like, okay, well, I don't have what it takes, you know, genetic-wise, because some people, bro, like, they can lift for 2 years, and they're going to be more enhanced than people that live for 10 years.
Exactly. There's some genetic freaks out there that
Bro,
they don't have to touch a weight.
Yeah. You know, you look at the black guys, you know, they come into the gym jacked, you know, and look at all the black dudes won all the Mr. Olympias last year, you know. So the genetics really plays a role because they are genetically dominant. You know what I mean? And I mean, in common sense, you know what I'm saying? There are some, you know, examples of the white dudes being genetically gifted. There are a lot of them, but I do feel like it plays a huge role. So for me, I was like, man, I don't have what it takes, you know, in order to be really competitive on the highest level without truly compromising my health, you know, because for me, in order to go toe-to-toe with that conditioning, you know what I mean, and that fullness and that dryness, I'll have to abuse drugs, you know, and I saw what kind of side effects it had on me. I'm 34 years old, and I do want to have a solid, healthy family, and I don't want to have problems with my libido when I'm 36, 38, you know what I mean, because a lot of guys that are competing right now, and they're, you know, late 20s, they have problems with libido. I mean, nobody's talking about it, but they're just probably aggro all the time.
Right. Well, you think about it, like it's a lot of people don't think about that. You know, they think, oh, I'm going to take all these drugs and I'm going to get on stage, I'm going to win this trophy, and that's going to be all that I need. Like, I'm going to be satisfied. And it's not that. You got to think long term a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I think Instagram, you know, and social media gratification amplifies that desire, you know, to be jacked, ripped, and get all the, you know, likes and stuff and comments, and people think that this is going to be, you know, this is a pinnacle of fitness career, which I think longevity, you know, that's what all this career is all about, because it's you know, bodybuilders come and go very fast, you know what I mean? They have a very certain, you know, time frame where they're relevant, you know what I mean? And you have to capitalize on that time, you know what I mean, in order to make money, to make exposure, to set the foundation for yourself for the future, you know what I mean? And I don't know, bro, I'm a hustler, and I've always been one, and for me, you know, this thing was just another hustle in a way, you know? I saw that I was good at it, you know, and I was better than selling cars, even though if I didn't sell cars in Chicago in the hood, I wouldn't have, you know, this kind of experience, you know, that I could put the company together, you know what I mean, and manage it, you know, and you know, open other businesses. So I was able to capitalize on that little window that I had in the sport, you know, to set the foundation. And now I'm, you know, to start this weed business. And to be honest, I've never been more excited about any business I ever started in my life than I am about weed. It's fucking sexy, man.
Do you think, and it's probably more fun than selling cars too. Like you've capitalized and you've made moves in your life to be in a better situation, you know, than you were when you were selling cars.
It's been a fucking journey, bro. I swear to God, dude. It's, you know, some people know me because they heard something about me, you know, on social media, in the sport, you know, and this and that. But people who really, really know me and people who really, really surround me, you know what I mean? Those are very, very loyal, you know, people, you know, very high quality people, and people, because of them, I'm able to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And this whole drama that happened to me within the fitness industry taught me so much, man. It changed my life. It changed the way I look at the business, the way I look at people nowadays. Because, you know, when I was doing that live stream, you told me that you liked, you know, that when I brought those folks, you know, when this thing went down, I wasn't really vocal about it because I was hurt. you know, because people that betrayed me, that were very close to me, you know, and I invested a lot of money, a lot of time, and most importantly, I invested my heart into them, you know, my emotion, my trust, you know, my loyalty. I wanted us to be a gang. You know what I mean? That's paving its own path in fitness. It doesn't comply with all these mainstream lies because, bro, this whole thing is built on lies. I don't mean to be negative, you know. I'm a very positive, outgoing person, but it's just the truth. You know, whatever the fitness industry is built right now is an illusion. It's a smoke. You know what I'm saying? It's not real. People are confused, you know, with all these protein powders and all the supplements and stuff. I mean, this is the last thing you should be worried about when you come into the sport. But yeah, this is the number one question: what protein? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I created the CBD stuff, I wanted us to be together. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want my guys to sell out to a company. I wanted us to create our own thing because I'm going to combine eventually fitness with weed. You know what I mean? I'll bring those two industries together. I already started doing that. I already started merging that because that's what I enjoy, you know, and that's what I wanted to give to these people. You know what I mean? But they wanted a short-term reward, you know, like paying for a hotel, you know, or a cheap tan, you know, for $200, you know. They compromised my friendship, my platform, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of clothing, you know, monthly, and, you know, all the shout outs and promotion and, you know, putting them out there, creating their content. You know what I'm saying? This is what these people were more expecting, you know, for me to pay for their tent. Even though, bro, you know, like I took care of every single one of them or every single need they ever needed. You know what I mean? So for me, it was a little bit confusing, you know, but also I understood that a lot of people are not on the same level mentally, you know, especially people that are into bodybuilding. You know what I mean? They can't comprehend the things that I comprehend and where I come from, you know, so I couldn't expect from a peasant to be a king. And I don't mean, you know, to insult them. This is where they are. And, you know, I've never done anything negative to them. I never made any posts, you know, nothing like that, because for me, it was a real thing. Maybe for them, it wasn't. Maybe for them, it was just another sponsorship and another thing. But for me, it was a real thing, you know, because I had that dream of mine, you know, a true camaraderie, a true friendship, not for the camera, not for the Instagram, not for YouTube, not for the brand to sell my crap. You know what I'm saying? It was real to me, and I wanted to build that real. And I was betrayed several times by Julian, this guy, you know what I mean? And I still forgave them, you know what I mean? And when they start talking negatively about me outside of this whole thing, I realized that this is not my true friends, because true friends, no matter what happens, they keep that behind the closed door. They don't take it out. True friends decide things between themselves, not in public. Only weak people put that on public. Fake people put that on public to get the compassion, to get the support, to get the talk, to get the best, the fucking most likes and comments they got is when they posted that negative shit about me. And when this kid, Nick Strength and Power, reached out to me, he didn't reach out, he posted that stuff about me, you know? He invited me to his channel, and I was like, man, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. This doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? I have to go and talk in front of kids, talk about my friends openly, and defend myself. This is not, I have other things to do, first of all. Second, it's my fucking private business. Yeah. It's not anyone's business at all. And I invited him to come to my camp, to Key West, and he said he would come, you know? And then later he texted me, like, hey, man, Samir Banut and Stan is going to make a video about you, but I'm not going to post it on my account. Stan is going to post it on his. And he ended up posting it on his account. You know, that was a defamation of character, and my lawyer reached out to them, and everything got taken down within 24 hours. So if you motherfucker fighting for the truth, then stand for the truth. You know what I'm saying? Don't be hiding shit away.
Right.
You know what I mean? If somebody came to me and I had a case with someone, I'll be so sure to take it all the way to the end. You know what I mean? And not run when your lawyer fucking reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't have the facts. You're blowing smoke out your ass to create traction because, you know, nowadays people love to see others fail.
Well, that's the thing that's going to sell.
You know
it sells.
I mean? That's just a thing, you know, to see oh man, especially if you have a little bit, you know, of success and you have a little bit of followers, people will love and tune in to see you fall.
Yeah. And
everybody was so fucking about it. You know, everybody really wanted to see me fail. But, bro, I'm unstoppable. I'm a visionary man.
Hell yeah, man. Good. That's the best fucking mindset to have right there. Unstoppable,
you know, I'm not
man.
fake. If I was fake, I would have fallen.
Right. No, yeah.
I never cheated on no one, man. I gave my heart to this friendship, to all of them.
And that's why I never went out and I put any bad things about them. I started that video that I made with voice that it was a true thing to me. You know what I mean? And it did really fucking broke my heart. You know, with Cody and everybody else, I put so much love into that kid. So much faith into that kid. Dude, so much money. You know what I'm saying? So just don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Respect what we had. We didn't come to some sort of agreement. We parted ways. Then, bro, just cherish what I've done for you. I met you with a fucking broware. You were nobody. I brought you up, bro. I helped you. Just don't say nothing. Respect what we shared. No, this little bitch is going running his mouth on Instagram. I'll slap that kid when I see him. I'll slap him.
You remind me of McGregor,
I'll
dude.
spit in his face publicly. They don't understand that this is not just talk. They think they're going to talk on Instagram and it's going to end there. It's going to end there publicly for me.
Yeah.
But when they meet me, it's not going to end. It's going to begin. Because I will ask them the same question. This doesn't come without consequences in that regard, you know? And as I'm talking right now, I'm getting fired up because it really, bro, it was when I saw how many people were talking shit and how many people said I fucking was a scam and this and that. Nobody knows why I parted ways with the legends. But I'll say this. Where are they now?
Yeah.
People say I took advantage of them. And this is not true. I paid them more than I should have. And when everybody sees public records that I have, because I would have been sued a long time ago by anybody if I fucked anyone over. Yeah. It doesn't make sense for them. My company would not exist. I will disappear. If I fucked anybody over from these people, they would have sued me.
Yeah.
I can sue them.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? And when people talk this, like, man, it hurt me. It hurt me so much because I've done a lot for the sport. This sport gave a lot to me. But dude, I'm a creative guy. I'm a visionary man. And I bring new things to this sport, you know, especially with the old school bodybuilding. You know, people can talk all they want. I contributed a great amount in popularization of old school.
Why do you think it was why do you think it was so fashionable for everybody to just gang up on you like that? Just because controversy sells now?
I think that, and then, bro, I speak the truth.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like to hear the truth. I don't hide
behind supplement brand. I don't hide behind supplement brand. I don't tell people I'm natural and I'm not. And those are the people who are hating on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
because I'm saying the truth. I have nothing to hide. You know, they start bringing this porn thing, you know, and people start sending me messages with my naked pictures and shit. I've done porn when I was 24. I was a stripper. You know what I mean? I've never done any gay porn. If I did, it would be fucking everywhere. It's my own business. Why? What that has to do with this current situation of me fucking dancing naked with this current situation? Does it make me worth of a man? Why do you try to shame me?
Yeah.
That shows you who these people are, right, and how weak they are to do that. I would never do stuff like this. I will never take someone's naked picture and go fucking send it to 10 other people. Yeah. What kind of person you have to be even to talk about this and make video about this? Like, I don't know. These people have so much time on their hands to do these things. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm creating an empire. I'm working really, really hard. I'm going through my own shit every day with the production, you know what I mean? With deliveries, you know, with fabric, with supplements. I have a lot of things going on. If I'm going to spend my time on that, I will achieve nothing. And these people, if you look at them, what do they have?
Well, I think a lot of it goes back, you know, there's no saying that, like, you don't see successful people hating on other people.
No,
they don't have the time.
No, exactly. And it was a great school for me, bro. It was a great school because, as I said, you know what, Phil Heath, we were talking earlier, you know, was talking about that platform. I created that platform. I gave them a message. Look at them now.
Yeah.
They're nobodies again. They're carrying no value to no one. They're selling Jet North. That clothing is cheap as fuck. It's a down step from me. And they're not going to give you the exposure. They're not going to fly a team. I flew guys to fucking Arnold Classic to support this little kid. And I was the one that was screaming at prejudging. I stood up as a guy. They were looking at Classic Physique. What are we looking at?
Right.
Because my boy was on that stage. You know what I mean? Nobody does this type of things. I would fucking take my kidney and give it to this kid. You know what I mean? And he betrayed me like that. Yeah. That was heartbreaking. But I learned from that. That you don't just share your platform with fucking nobody. If you share your platform, they have to pay you, or you have to squeeze fucking less juice out of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? I throw them $100 for a fucking cheap tan and $200 for a cheap hotel. Buddy, when you were with me in a 5-star hotel, 5-star fucking dinners.
Yeah.
That's how I treated my guys. You know what I mean? And I never spoken about that like this, bro. Like, never. And I will probably speak about it again because that was a learning experience for me. You know, a learning experience. Great learning experience. Yeah, to keep people on the leash. To keep people away and don't let them in into your life. You know, not bring them to your house and let them spit and steal clothes from you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had that. And I've never spoken about this because I truly cared about these people. I truly did. And if you scroll my Instagram down, I haven't taken down one post with them because it was a true thing for me. And they took everything down. Golden State. These motherfuckers have so much of my clothing. We were going through Texas yesterday, bro. Hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years that we went over to send him for free, top-notch clothing. I don't make this stuff in China. That's another thing people say my shit is overpriced. Dude, I knit all my fabric in LA. I want to add value. If I wanted to pop a fucking dollar, I would be buying stuff in China and flipping it to you, you dumb fuck.
Yeah.
How can you say I'm overpriced? I'm creating value. My packaging is worth more than Gymshark or Jet North or fucking any other brand's t-shirt itself. Because I like to create value, and that separates me.
I think that's one of the coolest things about the brand, and I see it on your story all the time, is you're always in the factories down in LA, and it's like, that's fucking badass. Like you're playing with the fabrics and cool. It's cool because you don't see that. Like most
I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing that. I'm missing out. My girl is just Austrian mind. She's a mastermind. She's always thinking, how do we cut expenses? How do we bring down the cost so we can make more money? Because I'm missing out on a lot of income, you know, that other companies make. You know what I'm saying? Because they're buying their stuff in China. They're buying their t-shirts for $3-4, you know? My t-shirt cost me to make about, $15, $16, and I'm selling it for $42.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there is so much work that goes into it, and these kids sit there and talk over. Dude, people copy my shit left and right. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mind. I'm. This is what's gonna happen. I accept that. I don't hate on that. I sit, bro. If you see me at night, I sit on Sense.com. This is like the highest brands, clothing, and they have 2,000-3,000 pages, and they click through every page and they scroll down. I look what's out there, what's trending, what prints, what cut. I enjoy doing that. I'm obsessed with that style, Yeah. So I do borrow some ideas from others. So I don't hate when they copy my shit. They don't know any better. Like Julian Smith, I hate that piece of shit. You know what I mean? And I called him out in SML. Let's do it. But that guy is not real. That guy is not a real dude, And I'll say it to his face. I'll say it anywhere, anytime, and I'll slap him too. He copied all my clothing. He copied it, just fucking 100% knocked off. And when I told him, like, hey, dude, what the fuck? He told me, oh, you're a piece of shit. You screwed us over. What? What do you have? Okay. What the fuck that has to do with you copying my clothes? What that makes you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't mean to make this thing about this, but once we're getting into the reality, of business, on social media and the reality of fitness, this is what it is, and that's the situation that I had to face. And again, I'll let it all go. You know what I mean? I have so much more other stuff to focus on, but I learned from all that. I learned from that experience, and I learned that you have to surround yourself with people, just very few, man, very few.
Well, you got to keep
trust only very
close. Few. It's got to be a tight knit circle of people that are going to benefit you. You can't surround yourself with people that don't have the same mindset as what you're trying to accomplish. Because it's never going to work.
You know what, man? It's hard sometimes, to come across those people. But what I've noticed about my personal journey, how you see this post, people posting, surround yourself with fucking successful people and all that bullshit. But when you come from nothing, when you're in a fucking neighborhood, how do you surround yourself with fucking successful people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you do that?
You got to go out. You got
in
to
order
get outside.
To be surrounded by successful people, you have to be a successful motherfucker yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about having money or this, but you have to go through journey, you know, on being on your own grind by yourself, elevating your consciousness, you know, elevating your work ethic, elevating yourself, you know. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to wake up early in the morning and go for a run, you know what I mean, and then go do their stuff, read a book, you know, educate themselves, go to work, after work go to the gym, cook them, be on the fucking grind on the same shit, dude, on the same shit daily basis for years. They will go through that lonely journey, you know what I mean? But they will make the baby steps to improving themselves, you know, and stepping up with their career. Where they're going to make it to the circle of the people that are going to be successful, people are going to be in the same path. But you have to deserve to be surrounded by successful people.
100%.
A bum will never be surrounded by successful people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can be, and that's what I learned, man. And I had to go through a lot of time and a lot of years on my own. You know what I mean? Grinding by myself, waking up in the morning and fucking being a laborer, you know, in Chicago and standing, you know, for 2-3 hours in the cold and fighting Mexicans, try to get in the van with a contractor so I could go do fucking demolition. You know what I mean? Or be a helper on the roof or paint. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was lonely years, bro. Lonely years, you know? And I just had that vision in mind. I just had the mindset that I really want to achieve. I want to be someone. I want to be with someone big, you know? I don't want to be a mediocre guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a mediocre guy. I don't want. It's for some people, they settle, you know, for whatever they want to settle for work and, you know, the little title, you know, and retirement and the little house and couple of. No, bro, I want to live big, and I see other people live big, and I know it can be done, you know. So, and I know exactly what needs to be done, bro. You open fucking Instagram, there is 10, 15 other million people, God, telling you what to do to be successful. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, it's fashionable now to be like, oh, I can tell you how to be successful. But it's
how crazy is that?
It's crazy is that? It's like what you were talking about, though. Like, honestly, it's how you define your success. Like, I would say that having the mindset of I'm going to get up, I'm going to grind it. This may not pay off today, it may not pay off tomorrow, but it's going to pay off fucking eventually. I would say that that's being successful in itself, you know, like, because that's setting you apart from the average fucking person, right?
Absolutely, but dude, it's a lot of work. And I feel like lately people are not really wired into truly working, you know, truly going through the process. You know, when you ask them, I'm like, what do you want to do? Like, oh, man, I want to motivate people. I want to inspire people. You look at anybody right now, everybody is becoming this inspiration thing because people clap their hands and you get that validation like, oh, you're speaking the truth, and that kind of strokes your ego. You want to do more of that. You know what I mean? There are not a lot of people that really, it comes from a generous place. You know, there are not a lot of people that talk about this truly going through the journey on their own. They're just blowing smoke out their ass because it's fancy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like why do you want to inspire somebody?
Yeah, and I went through the grind, you know what I mean? I never thought like, hey man, like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I want to be inspiration. I want to be a motivation. I want to motivate people, you know? And like doing what? Like we're just traveling the world. I was like, what the fuck?
You want to live the life like, without doing the work. That's what.
Yeah, and I went through this process of like starting businesses and failing, you know, and going through the drug experiences, you know, with in Chicago and like being overdosed and grinding and working and going through colleges, you know, like I went through this thing and I always wrote a diary, man. Throughout the whole years, I wrote the diary and I always wrote something motivational. I would feel like how I feel today, and I would put the date and I would write how I feel today. And when I go through that and I read through this, you know, I wrote so much more my own motivation, you know, because at times I would be lost, you know, depressed, you know, that broke up with a girlfriend, and I would feel a certain way, and I would just, you know, kind of write some sort of advice to myself in order to keep going. You know what I mean? Because as I said, I really have that drive, you know. Even when I was doing drugs, and I think all of that was done for a purpose, you know, and I feel like it all kind of connects now, you know, but I always had that idea. I want to be in California. I want to be in California. Since I was a kid, I always wanted to be in California. And where I'm going right now, I'm going to Santa Monica. And, you know, when I'm there, when I see the mountains, when I see the ocean, I feel home. So I don't know how that worked out, you know, but my soul somehow just had that connection with the States, you know, even though I come from a small town in the middle of nowhere in Ukraine. You know, people that live there in that town, they look at me like they always thought I was crazy. They thought I was gay or I was cool, you know, because I had a weird style and fucking long hair and I had fake earrings, bro. Fuck, I lived in the village, bro. Fuck, I lived in the fucking suburb. Like, just people don't understand what style is, you know. And I had these old albums of Metallica. I was I always cared about the Western world more than that one, because the Soviet world where I was growing up was very close-minded, very traditional, you know what I mean? And for me, like, Western culture was like, for some reason, I just really wanted to be here. And when I saw Arnold, I had Arnold posters. Bro, I was probably 7, 8. I had posters of Arnold all over my room, from his Commandos and Terminator and Conan. You know, all those posters were in my room. Jean-Claude Van Damme was there. You know, bro, I was
That's me, dude,
wired
right there.
to be here, you know? And I brought that, I think, you know, that desire to America. And it's a great country, and people that live here, you know, they don't take advantage of the opportunities, and I don't understand. I don't appreciate that. You know, this is the greatest country in the world, where anything can be done, anything can be achieved. You know, applying your own, you know, original idea and your work ethic, you can do anything here. And I'm happy to be able to live that, bro. I'm happy to live that. You know, despite all the bodybuilding experience and, you know, all other experiences that I had in my life combined, it's truly a wonderful journey, and I'm happy to be a true human being and live in this, you know, like, truly feeling things and going through things and experiencing life. Because I know people that I left back at home, they still live on the same street, they still live in the same house, you know, and they probably still have the same job, and nothing has changed for them. And I feel like life is about experiencing, you know, and taking risks and adventure and seeing places. I know it's too boring, you know, to spend, you know, your whole life in one spot.
No,
People
100%.
happy. I don't even think people are genuinely happy to be living in one spot for the rest of their life. They just settle and they die inside, you know? They're dead. That's why you see so many people fucking watching football and fucking eating popcorns and, you know what I mean, on a daily basis, and yapping on Instagram, because they're fucking dead. They're dead inside, you know? That's what it is.
Hey, I gotta head out, unfortunately, dude. It was awesome to meet you, and it was awesome to talk to you.
I appreciate it. I didn't know how long you wanted this to be, bro.
We can still go for a little bit.
Yeah,
I gotta take off.
I'm gonna go too, because I have to go do my cardio, man. It's 3:30. I spent a whole hour with you.
Right.
I felt like, you know, bro, I felt like I owned you, because I've been, you know, dragging you around, and I don't want you to feel like I was disrespectful or anything.
No.
In regards, and I truly appreciate that you did that review for me, and you gave me this opportunity to speak on your podcast. I've never done anything like this.
Man.
I did something like Louis Marco interview too, but it was like more than an interview, you know. And I truly appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime when you have a little bit more time,
brother. You know what? As I said, I just got a new warehouse, and we're gonna set up our own like podcast studio in there, like our own gym. You know what I mean? So you'll be more than welcome to come by, and we can sit down on the couch and light up this fucking purple cream.
You gonna be at the LA Fit?
Huh?
Are you gonna be at the LA Fit Expo?
No, bro. If I go to that expo, that's another thing, man. I'm gonna get in a fight.
Well, we got you, bro.
Well, we're coming down for the LA Fit. Maybe we can link up outside.
I appreciate you, man.
Got
You'll
you,
just
bro.
have to hold me back. You just have to hold me back. It's like, man, don't do it. You're stupid. Go to jail.
well, maybe we can link up while we're down there. We don't have
Hey,
to go
bro,
to the
when
expo.
you're in LA, 100%. You know, when is it again?
It's like the end of January, last weekend of January or something like
Yeah,
that.
I hope my rotator cuff fucking. You know what? I've done the stem cell thing, and hopefully it's. I mean, the pain is going away. It's fading. It's definitely healing.
Yeah.
You know, so I hope I'm going to be able to start training by January. You know, January 31st and stuff. Because I'm planning on. That's I didn't mention. I'm planning on getting back in shape. And I haven't decided about the gear yet, but just want to push my limits, you know, next year and see how far I can take it again, because I feel I'm in my prime, you know. I feel very strong. My cardio, my endurance, I've never felt this good, never felt this healthy. So we'll see how that's going to add to my bodybuilding experience, because I feel like it's going to, you know, bring something different to my look, you know what I mean, from where I used to be and how I changed my training now, and now putting emphasis on bodybuilding coming from functionality. I would love to see where it takes me, you know.
You gonna still do the boxing with that?
Yeah, bro. Of course.
Just making sure.
Yeah. It's no, it's possible doing both things. You know, you have to actually pick the emphasis here. You know, so probably in the first part of the year, I'm gonna put emphasis on bodybuilding. You know, because I still can throw left hands and land them on on the back, because I feel that's how I tore my rotator cuff. I think I did that inspiring.
Yeah.
But bro, I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, bro.
And I'm sorry if I didn't let you speak too much.
No, you're good, dude.
That guy just fucking bounced. He's
Yeah,
like, fuck
he
you,
had to
bro.
go. His lady's gonna get mad if he doesn't leave. But yeah, I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up when we're in LA. Maybe
How's everything with you, man? How's it going with your business?
It's going good, man. We're in year 4. It's grind though, man. Like I'm living the same style of lifestyle as you, man. I'm trying to grind and make it work, and it's rough, you know. It's but you got to be original. You got to be real with people, and that eventually that'll kind of carry you through.
But what are you planning on doing, man? What is your future vision for your business? Like, what do you want to do?
We have a gym up here. We're moving it to a new location actually downtown, so it's a better location.
What town is it again?
Grants Pass. So it's like 4 hours south of Portland.
How big is the population in there?
Probably like 80, 90,000, something like that.
80, 90?
Yeah, somewhere there.
Okay, it's not that bad.
No, it's not bad total.
How old are you, brother?
Just turned 32, man.
Fuck, dude, you're getting up there.
I'm getting old, man. I got the gray in the beard.
Yeah, you are.
I got the gray in the beard, bro. Gotta get on some TRT or something here.
But this is your prime.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
Bro, this is your prime,
100%, dude. I fucked around in my 20s, did a lot of stupid shit, and now I'm last 4 years I've been grinding. Trying to make.
Yeah, it's dude. I feel like I finally got to like a pediment of my potential. Like I'm in my peak, you know. I think I got to the peak now, and I feel really, really good, man. I never felt this good before, never. You know, even in my 30s, like 28, 29, it was good. But right now, it just feels very powerful, very strong, and it goes very well with business for me. You know what I mean?
It's a momentum game. You just got to keep building on that momentum. You do one good thing, you got to keep it rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you get that momentum, you have to keep going.
You got to capitalize 100%. on it. Once you get that train rolling, you got to capitalize on it, because you never know when something is going to pop up, but you want to power through that, you know? So it's I can respect that, dude. You gotta, and that's probably why you're branching out right now as you're doing this, you know, like you've been doing the clothing and the CBD thing for a little bit, and now you're branching out, trying to capitalize on all that momentum.
But that's how I do, man. I swear, dude, I don't spend money on anything else.
Yeah.
I don't spend money on nothing else but my business. Like
you have to.
Cars that you see, bro, I get that shit for free because I have Instagram followers. I'll tag the guy that rents those cars, and he gives me a car for free for a photo shoot, for me to drive around. I don't spend my money on garbage, bro. Not at all. I only spend my money on my workers, you know what I mean, on my business, on expanding, on saving for, like, now I saved enough money, you know, to start the weed business and to start to grow and get the license and stuff. Fuck, I met the best dude, like, I met the best farmer that could even be. Is a boxer, bro. And another thing, dude, if I didn't get into boxing, I would never fucking be in weed, because I would never run into this guy in Wild Card. He's like a fucking expert guru with weed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wants to partner up with me because he needs like large investment, you know?
Right.
And I would never met this guy. It's fucking strange how these things work, man, because I go with my heart in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I have an intuition, you know? And if boxing doesn't take me anywhere else in life, like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, I'm enjoying the whole experience of doing what I do, and it opened up new doors, new opportunities, new contacts. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm about, man. I don't really throw my money, you know what I mean, on anything. I spend everything. The only my expense, bro, is my food and my living. You know, It's my two biggest expenses. I spend too much money on food. I was looking for a good food supplier, you're like a prep meal company, dude. It's impossible to find quality food, bro. Impossible. I tried so many different companies, and they just cut corners on the quality of the food. Otherwise, it would be expensive, and they won't be making any money. You know what I mean? Unfortunately.
I got a guy for you then.
You have the company?
I my buddy has a company in the Bay Area. I'll shoot you some contact info.
Man, please do. I will give him a great exposure, because I came to Miami, and I pulled out the meal, and the guy's like, "Oh, is it eat naked LA?" I was like, "Fuck, man! People know everywhere because of me, because they follow me."
No, it's you're right though.
Invitation to the company, and unfortunately, bro, the people that I worked with, like I paid for their food.
Oh, did you?
I paid for their food, and on top of that, I gave them exposure, and they still didn't take care of me because I left them. That's why I left them, because the quality wasn't there, and they were charging me too much, and then charging on the weeks that they didn't deliver food to me, and when I caught that, and I said, "Guys, what the fuck?" He's like, "Oh man, this is just my assistant. He thought you were getting the food." I said, "Man, fuck you. You should be fucking happy. I'm working with you, man. Like, I'm paying you, and on top of that, promoting you, and your food is not even great because you have oil everywhere just to make their shit softer, you know what I mean, and juicier, because there's a certain way to keep cooking chicken, man, and you have to have a certain, grills and stuff, and this guy has a cheap kitchen and stuff,
Yeah, no, it's easy though nowadays to cut corners because everyone's trying to just make a buck. They don't care necessarily about quality, right?
Yeah, but bro, you can grow weed in Oregon too. It's legal out there.
It's a massive industry, especially around where I'm at. It's a massive
bro,
industry.
You have no idea how much money it is.
Oh, it's insane.
Like, people don't understand. Like, they don't understand, bro. Like, with the investment we've been making, we're looking at making $200,000 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Forever, bro. Forever. Every 2 weeks we get $200,000 worth of crops, and we have already distribution, everything. So it's still going to be a lot of work to do. And dude, it's just the beginning of the mountain. But I have this vision, man. I have such a big belief in the weed business, and it's going to make us like a ton of money for the people that surround me, bro. And that's the thing about me. And that's what I told them. I said, guys, we're going to fucking rise together. You know what I mean? I'll share with you everything that I have, And I did that, not just by words. I did that in action, And the people that are around me, bro, like my guy, that's my assistant that started with me in the garage. He was like fucking moving clothing in not in my garage, or fucking my friend's garage, and he started with me from there, and now we have a warehouse, he has his own office, and like it's all growing. And then I told him that he's gonna have a certain percent in the company for the rest of his life, And same thing with my girl, I couldn't, bro. I don't really put my private life out there that much. People don't even know who my girlfriend is,
right?
And I don't want, I don't even follow her on Instagram. I don't even know what she posts. And care. You know what I mean? That's kind of a relationship that I have. It's 100% trust. And I think the connection I have with my girl is just another level. It's
How long you guys been together? How long you guys been together?
It's been almost a year.
Oh wow.
It's been almost a year. How fucking crazy the act. Nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows. Only people that came to see me here in California, they seen her,
Yeah.
Like my athletes did and stuff. But not even my not even my old athletes, my new athletes, But I kind of have already a different relationship with these people, man. This is it, bro, for me.
Well, you got to keep that private, Like if you're throwing too much stuff out there, it's easy for people to just kind of dig at you and
yeah, and you have nothing left for yourself.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I kind of that's my private, and it just feels special, bro. It feels special just for that reason, And I kind of I don't know. It's probably cool. For I see sometimes a girlfriend would post a picture and her boyfriend would just leave hearts and she reply him with hearts. Yeah. Fuck, this is so tacky.
Well, it's like if you're I have a similar relationship with my girlfriend. We don't post a lot about each other, but it's because the time we spend together, we want to enjoy that time, right? You don't want to have to be hey, you don't want to have to tell people how much you love somebody, because as long as they know.
That's what I think Instagram is doing. It's kind of eating through the social, the fabric that society is made of. You know what I'm saying? That intimacy and that privacy, it's kind of gone.
There is none.
People really care to share it with everybody and get validation. You know what's funny to me? The pictures when people in the bed in France with the view and Paris, the tower and stuff, and they have 10 plates of the most exotic breakfast. Nobody does that in real life.
Who actually eats that shit?
Yeah, they have 10 plates, and she's wearing the best lingerie and stuff. and they're like, "Oh, breakfast is bad." Fuck you, cunt! I'm eating steak and eggs out of a paper fucking plate. You know what I mean? I'm on the road, bitch. You know, my life is not that good. It's yours. And you're like, fuck, you're dwelling yourself like, fuck, these people live so good and they suck. I'm a loser. You know what I mean? People start thinking that.
Oh, yeah. It's everything. It's everything. It's like you see some dude who's like 19 and he's lifting like 700 pounds and you're like, shit, I've been training for 10 years. I can't do that. This fucking guy, it's like, it eats away at you. You're like, I'm not... It eats away at the self-confidence. If you don't have a strong base already, it'll tear you down, you know?
Yeah, because they already come in with their peer pressure in their head, you know, to set a PR right away.
Right. Oh, 100%, right? Like,
you know, and man, do you get injured a lot in powerlifting?
I think there's a difference between being hurt and being injured, you know? Like, serious injuries, I haven't had a whole lot. Serious injuries, I haven't had a whole lot of that, but I have like some aches and pains, you know. But it goes back to how much you actually put into like the recovery. Like, are you actually trying to recover? Are you taking the time to stretch? Are you doing your cryo? Are you doing your CBD? Like, are you taking the recovery aspect? The guys that don't recover, they get hurt all the fucking time.
It's because I always thought that like powerlifting is such a risky sport, you know, because you put yourself in a very risky positions, you know, going under that weight.
Right.
But do you know this guy C3 Muscle? Respect the depth.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him on social.
Yeah, bro. You know what? I know that guy from very long time ago from Chicago. You know, dude, nicest motherfucker on earth. The most humble man I ever met in my life. He's like, his leg is like bigger than my waist, you know? and dude, he squats so much. That dude is so strong in his legs. I've never seen someone like. So when I see him squat, it's like, oh man, he's safe. You know, because you see how strong and powerful he is through his lift. You know, like he's controlling the weight from A to Z. You know, all the way up. He doesn't compromise. You know what I mean? It's all like controlled. So when you look at that, it looks safe. You know, but then you look some other kids that squat, you know, with all that weight. It looks dangerous as fuck.
Yeah, there's some guys that just makes things look easy, and he's probably one of those guys that just makes it look easy, effortless. Technique is on point, you know.
Yeah, there is so much technique that comes into play when you talk about powerlifting. You know, I think there's so much more technique to powerlifting than bodybuilding, bro. Even though, you know, it's two different worlds, you know, and bodybuilding in some way, you know, takes, I guess, a little bit different skill.
I would disagree. I would say there's a lot of technique in bodybuilding, like that mind-muscle connection and doing an exercise.
No, brother, no.
You don't think so?
You probably don't know bodybuilding on a high level. You know what I mean? There is a lot of tricks to it. There is a lot of tricks to the, you know, supination and pointing a finger, you know, like a pinky when you're doing a bicep curl. There are certain exercises, you know, like to be a complete bodybuilder, you have to work every single muscle in your body. You know what I mean? There are certain exercises that just don't engage, you know, a certain muscle group. So I do feel like there's a certain technique, let's say, to pullovers. There is a certain technique, you know, to even bench press. You know what I'm saying? There is certain technique in order to. I think, you know, powerlifting, I guess, as I said, it's just a different world.
Yeah, 100%.
I do believe in technique in bodybuilding, man, because I've been training all my life, right? And I'm meant to see, let's say, someone like Charles Glass, you know, and I listen to him and I'm like, fuck, man. I never expected you can do a fucking, you know, a fly like that, you know what I mean? Or a curl like that, or a pull like that, you know what I mean? Like, they're using different handles, you know what I mean? Different grips. So, sorry, man, I was my girl.
No, you're good.
I do believe in technique, man.
Yeah.
Listen, brother, I was gonna say, I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, dude, I think this was good. It was cool.
I hope we got some good content, no?
Yeah.
And I'll just share it in my stories and stuff, you know?
Right on. Yeah, I appreciate that.
No, dude, I appreciate you, man. You're a good guy, bro.
Yeah, we'll have to link up when I'm in LA.
When you're in LA, bro, we'll link up for sure. I'll take you boxing.
All right, sounds good, dude.
Man, you have a great day, bro. Happy holidays, man. We'll keep in touch.
You too, brother.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.